We've been up and down the East Coast lately. The NCC in West Palm Beach, Sarasota County Croquet Club in Venice, Ponte Vedra near Jacksonville, Albemarle, the Lassiter's fabulous place in northern North Carolina, Chesapeake Bay Croquet Club, and the mountains of western North Carolina. Now we're going to central North Carolina. In fact, about 25 miles from the geographic center of North Carolina is the Pinehurst Croquet Club, presenting the North Carolina AC Open in May of 25. Your tournament director is Danny Huneycutt. Mike Taylor and Elaine Moody are the tournament managers, and John Graney is the videographer. The USCA brings you this channel and invites your participation through their website. Thanks as always to Chris Barley for channel sponsorship and to Preston Stewart for helping with the editing. And our equipment sponsor, Don Oakley, can provide anything you need to play this wonderful game. Pinehurst is a true golf mecca. The iconic Pinehurst number 2, the Donald Ross course that has been the host of more major tournaments in the U.S. than any other course. Ate me alive when I played it 30 years ago. But right in the middle of it are the croquet lawns. You can see the two square ones were and are lawn bowling pitches. The two rectangular ones are dedicated croquet lawns. I think that's number 4, number 3, number 2, and the show court number 1. That black structure to the left of that is the shelter, and that's where John Graney's camera will be, except for the final down on court 4. The rain has mercifully stopped, and we have game 3, the decider. They traded triple peels, and now Tom Balding opens with a slightly short super shot. Velo's response is something I've been hoping somebody would do for a while. And the best place to look at it, analyzed, is in Patty Chapman's CroquetDev.com website. He describes what Vey's about to do as a very strong and underused response to the super shot, especially useful with somebody who's a very good shot, and particularly if the super shot ball is deep. So maybe the blue ball is not ideal for this, but he's definitely playing a good shot in Tom Balding. He's going to lag at blue from corner 1. He's trying to hit it, but lagging means that if he misses, yellow should go past it 2 or 3 yards. If it went past by 2 or 3 yards, then Tom is vulnerable because any shot he takes at those two has a balk line lurking behind it. Since yellow's short, it let him off the hook a little bit because now he can kind of shoot into corner 2 if he misses. Of course, if he doesn't miss, then he's not so vulnerable. Jeff Sue relates that Robert Fulford has used this response against him. Danny Huneycutt likes this shot, but he shoots quite a bit harder, and if he misses, his ball ends up over south of hoop 3. Cliff Clark doesn't like that much, but the American players have used it to good effect. But the lag version is an established tactic. Speaking of established tactics, Wiley describes what Tom's going to do. He's multiplying his ratio on a pass roll by slamming the object ball into a nearby hoop. He meant for black to go quite a bit farther, and that's why he hit it so hard. He also wanted yellow to stay by 2 as a hoop 2 pioneer. But the basic idea is to dramatically increase the ratio of the travel distance of your striker ball to the object ball by using a hoop to stop the object ball. And even our really good shot occasionally misses, although usually not in such a costly fashion. And Tom is already thinking, I got one more chance. Because the likelihood that Velo will make 9 now is probably in the 85% range. And then if Tom misses the lift shot, he'll triple and win. That's the reason that in big championships they play 3 games out of 5. It's also the reason that super advanced rules were developed in England to increase interactivity. Super advanced hasn't escaped the island yet, though. If you're interested, I think it's David Maum wrote the chapter on super advanced rules in Beyond Expert Croquet Tactics. And one of the most impressive things that Ben Rothman has ever done, in my estimation, is winning the British Open against Samir Patel, playing super advanced, which Americans never play. Sorry to be obvious, but remember how we would usually recommend a stop shot here, so blue goes on down toward 2 a little ways. He's putting some roll on red to limit blue's travel so that he can get a rush on it back to pick up black after he makes the hoop. Getting the rush you need after a hoop is the essence of Wiley's precision croquet. Wiley's 4 humors are canny, precision, and aggressive croquet with the addition of Monte Carlo. And as we've said before, Monte Carlo means just hit it and hope. Both Tom Balding and Zach Watson have been proponents of Monte Carlo in the past, but they've pretty much both gotten over that now, as reflected in their national and world rankings. They rushed blue to a spot so far from black, partly because that's the rush you got, but also this now gives him room to send blue all the way to hoop 3 while he goes to black. And because Tom left him such a nice hoop 2 pioneer, he doesn't need a rush on black in any particular direction. All he has to do is hit it. Not sure why he's shaking his head. Maybe he wanted black further north so he could get it further out on the lawn, or maybe he was thinking about doing them on standard leave and he's kind of out of position. He could still do it. He's got a great Pioneer at 2 back. Usually for a mom, parking a ball on the stanchion of 2, you would put blue on the other side of the hoop. He could put black on the hoop now and escape with blue. He's got options. He can come back and just pick up black and incorporate it into a diagonal spread, or he could put it on the stanchion at the end of the leave and bring his balls back over here, or he could put it out more southwest of hoop 2 in a new standard leave, or he can do something I don't know about. Diagonal spread it is, and he likes this split shot. He's done this a couple times for us. The other choice would have been to rush black all the way to the west boundary and then stop shot it back to 3 back, going to yellow at 2 back. So after a lag response to a super shot opening, our super shot, Tom Bowling, hits in with a lovely Croquet and then a very uncharacteristic miss in third turn to Abog, handing Velo a break on a platter, which he graciously accepted and took to four back, laying a classical diagonal spread. And back to the standard pattern. Tom picks up the hoop 2-ball. I've played here when there was lawn bowling going on that extra space over there. The wooden barriers all around the perimeter, I think, obviate the need for black tubing. Not even Sharif can bounce it over that. I don't especially like the gutters because bending over is not my specialty, but playing croquet on a lawn bowling pitch is a great way to share what's a pretty expensive space. A principle that we've seen in action, of course, in Central Park and in Buffalo, where Olmsted's designs included a couple of long bowling pitches that have been repurposed to croquet. And what do you know? At the end of his career, Frederick Law Olmsted designed the entire Central Village in Pinehurst. That was 1895, 1897 when the Pinehurst Club opened, and I'm guessing that Olmsted's influence may have led to the construction of Court 1, which is a lawn bowling pitch. Whether he knew about croquet or not, I can't find out. But Wikipedia says that croquet was popular at Pinehurst in the first few years and then got overwhelmed by golf. I want to thank Elaine Moody for digging up some history for me. Turns out that John Osborne, who founded the USCA, invited John Solomon to Pinehurst around 1980. Peyton Ballinger was a PR person at Pinehurst. She got involved, took the croquet ball and ran with it. I'm going to guess that courts 2, 3, and 4 were built between 1980 and 1982 because Bob Kroger came up with an article describing Archie Peck beating Archie Birchfield in an American rules tournament in 1982. And at that point, Pinehurst was apparently the largest croquet facility in the Western Hemisphere. And then Mac Penwell was the one who developed the croquet program as well. Mac Penwell is the one who taught Danny Huneycutt to play croquet. The first North Carolina AC Open was in 1989. I think it's special that this place has a connection with Delaware Park in Buffalo, Central Park, etc., all through Frederick Law Olmsted, who had a hand in what you're watching right now. It may be a stretch, but just as croquet was an important part of Wimbledon when it first opened, croquet has been going on at Pinehurst for over 125 years. Survey is off on what he hopes is a boring old triple to win the championship. Let's see if he makes it interesting. It's a perfect hoop 4 Pioneer that'll facilitate digging black out of corner 4. Watch red roll off at the end. That may have been the terrain that did that, not his misjudging pull. But now it's interesting. Oh, goody. Precision play, i.e. control of rushes out of hoops, is very important in 3-ball breaks, doubly so in triple peels, and at least quadruply so in a sextuple peel. Look at that. His escape ball is out of position now. It's getting even more interesting. I think he's going to ask his opponent a question, but I can't understand what he's saying. See if you can figure it out. He'll keep coming around trying to get the peel, but you got to prioritize the break. So now black will be his escape ball after he brings red back over to 4 back after he makes 6. Well, that's a lot better than the first time he tried that one. Hmm. He hasn't used black yet, so he could keep it as an escape ball after a attempt at a stop shot peel on Rover. It's not in the right position, but that's what you do when you think you might have to peel Rover with an Aspinall peel because you're going to need an escape ball. We have, I think, just one Aspinall peel on the channel. I'd love to see another one, especially at Rover, but it's not going to happen right now. In an Aspinall peel, you try an angled peel with a croquet shot where the striker ball follows, hits the peelee a second time, and knocks it through the hoop. If you're going to do that, you need an escape ball, though. Now, he can obviously score the hoop there, but he'll probably run into red if he does. And even if he was able to trickle through, he can't get to either blue or black in order to rush red to the peg and peg out. You're going to love this. There are two parts to this, of course. One is moving red 5 or 6 inches, as the other is making sure yellow has a hoop shot. And the crowd goes wild. So once again, fulfilling the expert obligation to entertain, Velo shows us an underused opening, lagging to a super shot ball. Turns Tom's errant shot to Abach into a perfect break to 4 back. And then does anything but a boring old triple peel, waiting until after 2 back to get the 4 back peel. And then with 2 rush peels, gets it done, ending with a fabulous bombard of the peelee out from behind the rover hoop. So Velo's experience and improvisational skills overcome Tom Balding's marquee shooting ability to win the North Carolina AC Open 2025 2-1. I, for one, could not be more entertained. So heartfelt thanks to the Pinehurst Croquet Club for bringing this tournament sanctioned by the USCA, which brings you this YouTube channel and invites your participation through the website. Check it out, sign up, and join us on the lawn. And whatever your objectives in croquet, Don Oakley's Croquet store can provide all the equipment you need. And now the award ceremony led by your tournament director, Danny Huneycutt.
First of all, this year just adds a little bit more to the history of the North Carolina Open and what North Carolina is trying to do with AC. We think it's one of the top AC tournaments you can find anywhere in this country. Okay? It really is. It's awesome. And thank Pinehurst for hosting this wonderful tournament. We've had other hosts, but there's nobody like Pinehurst. This level of tournament.
At one point, North Carolina had more championship-level croquet players than any other state, including Florida.
And you go back many years, and you have to go back like 20 years, and you see some familiar names on that trophy, and you might even find Louw, Tom Balding. You can't see his name, but it's supposed to be there, right? First of all, the competition that I think is much more important than winning the tournament, and that is the biscuit barrel. And the biscuit barrel going into the last game, Louw was 1 point ahead. 3 triples, and Tom Balding had 3 triples, but they had a TPO, so that gave 1 more point. But anyhow, whoever won the last game with the triple would win the biscuit barrel. And Louw, you have to come back next year because you got to fill the biscuit barrel with biscuits.
One of my players in Indiana insists that we call them biscuits.
Jeff Sue did a wonderful job this year making sure what we call cookies are in the barrel. Okay, our finalists and one of our U.S. stars, and stars of the future for sure, Tom Balding. Congratulations. Yes, sir. Awesome. And our champion for the 3rd time? Because of Kinston. And you saw absolutely great croquet out of Louw. Congratulations on making the tournament. Okay. And then Tom, if you could please come up here. I will. Congratulations, and whoever's traveling home, please be safe. We want you back next year. All right, good job, guys.
Thank you so much.
Oh, this loaded up. This loaded big up.
I hope you had a good time. Hope you come back.
Come on, you gotta hold it off. Yeah, he peels once in a while, doesn't he? Tom, we got to knock Jeff over. Hey, you had the bag.
We have Elaine, Moody in black, Mike Taylor with the sunglasses on his cap. Your tournament managers, thanks to the Pinehurst Croquet Club, thanks to Elaine for all the history research. Subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss the Highlands Falls Golf Croquet Elite Invitational coming up next.